I want to talk specifically about Williams chapter 2 and Williams chapter 5 when thinking about the digital storytelling assignment. I actually did the reading before I did the assignment, but then when I was working on the assignment, and as a student, kind of trying to imagine like what might this be like for a student in a high school English classroom. I was thinking a lot of the reading and especially of these two chapters. The second one being about like choice and decision making for the students. I don't think it said anything explicitly about digital storytelling. If I remember correctly, it was more like choice boards or like breaking out in groups, things like that, so that students are able to choose or like have some form of agency with like what they're learning about, which I thought that digital storytelling is like really great for that, like checks so many boxes. Though it wasn't explicitly mentioned, I felt like it gave me enough choice, enough agency. Like I still had steps on how to create it, very explicit steps. I had like a time limit and we were shown examples, but then we got sent home and it was like, okay, like tell us your story. Like that's so broad, not too broad, but like broad enough to like excite me and to give me some agency, and like picking photos and like deciding what I'm gonna say and then putting it together. I feel like that is really great in encouraging students. And so I was thinking about that chapter just as I was using that freedom that we were given. And then I also just really enjoyed chapter 5 as a whole. I thought it went very well with the digital storytelling assignment because it was about like encouraging students as writers and making sure they know that they are writers. Like you don't need some fancy degree to be a writer. If you write, then therefore you're a writer. And I've always really liked that idea. Or it's true. And so something that I wrote down in my notes, I don't remember if this is exactly like explicitly from the text, but I wrote, all students need to feel like they are writers and receive support as writers in the classroom. And I feel like this assignment is very good for that because students are given the opportunity to tell a story. Because I think you have that agency, you feel like a sense of ownership over the story, which is really good for your writer identity, I feel like. And I'm running out of time, so I'm just gonna stop there.